Welcome back to another edition of Cape Ann Today. Heather and I are joined by Tracy O'Neil. She is Gloucester's Ward 2 City Councilor. How you doing, Tracy?
Good, Kory. How you doing?
Great. It's good to see you.
Oh, it's good to be seen. It's good
Yeah.
to be here.
Well, the last time we had a long conversation was election night.
Oh,
And
geez.
I think you were a little surprised. And I think you were more surprised when you realized what exactly the job entailed.
Yeah, that was my favorite quote. I went for the sidewalk and I got the whole harbor.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I don't even. I remember saying a few things, but that night was just like totally
Yeah.
unbelievable. Totally
Yeah.
unbelievable.
So
was
you've
like,
been on the
well-
job for 6 months now, Trace. How have you settled in?
I think it depends on who you ask.
Well, we're asking you. I hope you have.
Some things. So the first issue was the amendments, right? The zoning amendments.
Let's go right there. Let's talk about what happened to you there. And
Well, I just dove right in and I read everything 2-3 times. So when things came up, I had it right in my hand. And I could put my fingers right on it and I could read right from the sheet, like this is what it says. So, and then I came up with, the math doesn't lie. If you put this many units, you can have that many people in each unit, which you can by state law, then you're gonna have over 11,000 people within a half mile of the train station.
yeah, so you were brand new to the city council, and your election, even to you, was kind of a surprise. You won by 1 vote, 2 votes? Can't remember.
Well, I won by 3, but then we had the recount and one was contested, which I still think it would have stood, but so.
Okay, so you won by 2
technically,
votes.
2
Yeah.
votes, yeah.
And there you were on the Planning and Development Committee with Jason Grow and Val Gilman. And Jason was a real advocate for these amendments. And you really found your voice and stood your ground. And they did not pass. So where did you find that courage?
It's my neighborhood. It's
Tell
where I
us.
live.
Yeah.
And I had the facts behind me. They kept saying stuff and I have it right here. So like I said, I read everything 2 and 3 times. And because it kept getting postponed and postponed, and postponed. And I just had to go read it again to make sure that, I had it straight in my mind that this is true. It's true. And I understand that it starts at the train station. It can be contiguous, right? So it can spread out from there. But I live within a half mile of the train station. And if they wanted to put 2,270 units within a half mile of the train station, starting there, right? And spreading out, touching wherever it goes. And I know because I looked it up on mass.gov that you can legally have 5 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. So 2,270 times 5 is 11,350 people. The math doesn't lie. And I just kept going back to that. Math doesn't lie. And it's where I live. I mean, it's where I live, not where some other people live. They're not going to put it, in East Gloucester. They're not going to put it in Magnolia. They're going to put it at the train station, and that's where I live. And we would be increasing Gloucester's population by 1/3, period.
Right.
With there's like 30,000 people in Gloucester, 29 something, 31 something. I can't remember which is which.
Yeah.
But roughly 30,000 people. And 11,350 people is more than 1/3. You're going to increase the population by 1/3 in the downtown area. And in order to do that, you got to build higher and higher and higher and closer and closer and closer. So it just makes sense.
And this was we're talking about the ability to go from 2 to 3 family the conversions by right?
And 1 family to 3 family by
Yeah,
right
right. Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And,
So there's the potential for all those people,
Right.
for that increase in population.
and then they wanted to raise the height from 30 feet as of right to 45 feet.
Yeah.
And you could with by right next door. And the green monster is 37 feet high. Right? So put that into, perspective. Next door, it's going to be taller than the green monster right next door. And you're not even going to know it until it's basically built, right? Because they can
Right.
do it by right.
Right.
And they could go 60 feet high with a special permit, which I can see that happening at the train station.
Yeah.
And so we're already having neighbor wars and parking wars. The person who called me today was about parking. It's all about parking in Ward 2. It's all about parking and neighbors, because we're so close together, we can irritate each other for sure,
Well, how about the sidewalks? Because that's what you campaigned on, right? So, have they been fixed? The one in front
Well,
of
wait a minute, slow down. So the amendments took up my time because I do have a business to run, right? And I did all my studying on the amendments because I was afraid that they were going to put 11,000 people in my neighborhood. Aside from crowding us in, our sewer pipes are entangled with each other in my neighborhood, right? I know this for a fact because I've had them put dye down my sewer pipe. And instead of my sewer pipe going out to the street, it goes across my neighbor's property, down the street, and then down that hill instead of, so why that I don't know why. It just know that it is. And I've heard the same on Taylor Street. They have one woman owns a home and there's apartment houses around her. And those apartment houses drain into her sewer pipe. So if they throw diapers down their toilet, she has to pay to have that sewer pipe cleaned out because it's on her property.
Yeah.
So, and I can't be the only one whose sewer pipe does that, and hers can't be the only one that does that. So it's infrastructure is not set up for that. I researched my deed back to ox and cart, handwritten at the Registry of Deeds for ox and cart.
Wow.
And they used to walk up from the waterfront, and they'd go up and up and up, and they'd have these right of ways where they had the right of way to bring their ox and cart across your property so that they could get to their house that's on the other side of that street. And so the roads are not built for that many people, and I there's some things I want to say, but I don't know if I should. But I want to say it as politically correct as I can. And I don't quite know how to do that yet. But, whether the amendments that the housing production plan and the oh my goodness, who was it? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
Greg Katamotori?
Yeah, well, the planning board, right?
Yeah,
The planning
right.
board sent it to P&D and then we sent it to city council. Whether the amendments that they created or came up with was to satisfy what the MBTA wanted, right? Because the MBTA is the ones or is the entity that wanted the 2,270 units. The MBTA and the Department of THCD, Department of Community and Housing Development, Housing and Community Development, and the MAPC, the Massachusetts Area Planning Council. So the Massachusetts Area Planning Council wrote the housing production plan for and or with the planning board. Now, I have the housing production plan on my desk, and it says, written by the MAPC for the city of Gloucester.
Mm.
Okay, that's fine. So they want the 2,270 units. And where was I going with that? Oh, whether the planning board's amendments purposely aligned with the MBTA almost doesn't matter. That would be the end result.
Mm.
Am I making any sense?
Yeah, so I thought they were separate, the MBTA plan and these amendments, but you're saying they were linked because the Metropolitan Area Planning Council created the plan. Is that
Well,
what
I'm trying not to say that they were linked.
okay,
okay.
okay,
So whether they were linked or not,
yeah,
the end result would be that the MBTA would get what it wanted
yeah,
by right.
yeah,
Right?
right.
Now, we know that the MBTA doesn't build houses, so there's Harbor Light Community Partners, who is a developer. So, and they've got developments all over the state of Massachusetts. They've got plans written out for Rockport. They've got plans.
They are specifically affordable housing, right?
I think, I'm not sure. I can't.
I think
couldn't say.
they specifically focus on affordable housing. We
They
look
could.
at- We could,
They could. You could be right on that.
The one in Rockport definitely is. And
Is
this
it?
Yeah, and that's their lane is,
Yeah.
Creating affordable housing. So,
That- You know, I went to a breakfast they had. They were very informative.
mhm.
But we know that the MBTA doesn't build houses is what I'm getting at, right? But
Right.
whether the planning board's amendments were in line with the MBTA or not, that would be the end result, is that would have happened by right in my neighborhood.
Right.
And I think the biggest problem is the by right thing, like
Mm.
I should know that my neighbor's gonna put up a house taller than the Fenway Park,
Yeah.
taller
Right.
than the Green Monster.
Mhm.
I should at least know, I should be informed, right?
And the people in your neighborhood, you feel like they felt the same way?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah. Yeah.
positively, absolutely, with hands down. Yeah.
Well,
Right.
Trace,
And that's what,
go ahead. No, finish your thought.
that's what, one of the things that really helped me fight, you asked me where did that come from? As a city councilor on Zoom, I can see the attendees. I can see who's on the call.
Right. That's
And I'm
great.
getting goosebumps just talking about it because
Yeah.
I know her, she sent me an email, she said this and she said that and this one and that guy. And I saw all these people
Mm.
that I had connected with or had called me or, I had talked to, and now they're on the call with me. So I know I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing for me, is that I had all those people behind me, and it's
And you're speaking for them. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
touching. I mean, I'm just like, can't believe it.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. So,
Well, so to that point, Tracy, how does the neighborhood feel about, because I live right around the corner from Webster Street, as I see this school being built, it is not small, it's massive. So how is the neighborhood feeling about that?
they hate it.
Really?
They hate, oh my God, yes.
Mm.
They, so the height restriction was 30 feet in the neighborhood, and I think it's like 56 feet high. And don't quote me on that, but it's almost twice as high as 30 feet.
Wow.
And now I've learned what appurtenances are, right? So you have the roof and then you have all the electrical equipment on top of it. And I was looking at the appurtenances on GMGI, if you go drive by GMGI and
Yeah.
you look at the stuff that's on top of the roof, it's high.
Really high. Yeah, right.
So
I
how
think I've
much,
noticed that. Yeah.
and I'll bet that school's probably not as big as GMGI, but I'll bet they have big appurtenances,
Mhm.
you know, on top,
Mhm.
mechanical devices or whatever.
Mm. What
No,
do-
they
where
might,
does-
everyone in the neighborhood is heartbroken, disappointed, furious, PO'd. It's I drive by that school 2, 3, 4 times a day because
Yeah.
I live on Friend Street, down Friend over to Webster, and you know, I have to stop talking.
Well, yeah, that's why no matter which angle I go by, whether I'm driving or walking, I can't, every time you turn around and see it, it's like, holy crap, this thing is
Yeah,
huge.
I just
It's
noticed it for
terrible.
the first time the other day. I hadn't been to Gloucester and I had the same reaction, like, well, coming through that intersection.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And yeah, and the I believe the play yard is enveloped in the circle that goes around for cars.
Mm,
And it's like a 60 by 90, 60 feet by 90 feet for 440 students plus staff.
yeah.
And traffic's gonna be a nightmare. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a nightmare. And
So
one of,
speaking, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
no, go ahead, go.
Well, I
I
was
need
just
to
gonna say, speaking of nightmares, what's coming up next for you? What's on the agenda, the city council agenda? Or concerns in the neighborhood? What are you thinking about?
Well, there was something, I forget what it was. I know the local rapid recovery plan and the harbor plan, I haven't researched,
Mhm.
you know, so I have to, because the harbor is my ward, right?
Mhm. Right.
And I need to do what my people want. And I remember I had 2 live ward meetings, or 3, I had 3. 2 of them, I had quite a few people. And one person asked me, well, why did you vote that way? And I said, because that's the way my constituents wanted me to vote. She said, well, there are more people, you know, in Gloucester than are in this room. I'm like, well, I listen to the people who call me, who text me, who email me, and who show up. I can't listen to you if you don't talk to me,
Mhm.
right? And they do. I'm out there, and people talk to me. People talk. People tell me things. I get goosebumps. I'm still getting goosebumps. I can't believe that people are so nice, you know,
Oh,
that they're grateful when I don't think they should be or have to be, because
Have to
I'm
be,
just
yeah.
doing, I'm doing my job, and 2, I'm doing what's right.
Well, but you're a voice for a community now. You're a representative for folks who feel underrepresented. That's saying
Absolutely.
something, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Trace, we should make a point to maybe do this a little more regularly. Like, you know, like every 6 weeks
No.
or so. We need our Ward
I'm
2
gonna
update.
like say stuff that's gonna get me in even deeper
Well,
water.
it's straight from the heart, and you're getting this straight from your constituents. So
Yeah,
this
I
is how small, this is how local politics work.
Yeah,
You know?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Just
they're your
hand me a
strength.
life jacket every once in a while.
Yeah.
No, it's really just, I think you're a great role model for so many people, you know, to be just a regular citizen saying, I'm not happy with the way things are going, so I'm going to run for office. And
Yeah.
you did it. And now you are, you know, it's pure democracy. You are listening to the people and you're saying what they want. So it's impressive. It really is. And you had a rough, you know, trial by fire start, and you had knowledge. I think it's so important. You keep emphasizing, I had the facts, you know,
Yeah.
that's what I was going on.
And I
And
read them over and over.
right. No, it's really impressive. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I still can't believe it sometimes.
But how about the sidewalk? When's it gonna get fixed?
It's on the list.
All right.
And we've been told that we're a priority. However, things don't happen quickly in government, I was told, and it might take up to 2 years,
Wow.
but it's in the works. And I've been told that Perkins Street and Green Street are priority.
Yeah.
And whether they included my sidewalk, I'm not quite sure. You know, sometimes I'm just, yeah,
Yeah.
but,
So we're talking about the Lady of Good Voyage sidewalk. That one is the one that may take 2 years.
no. Lady Good Voyage has a good sidewalk. They need a crosswalk
Oh, that's
That-
what it was. Yeah.
that is, they need to cut out that curb. So Our Lady of Good Voyage Church is on the corner of Taylor and Prospect,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So right at Taylor Street, almost where it turns, there should be a crosswalk there, right at the gate
Yeah.
where their ramp goes in,
Mm,
right? And it's like right about where the fire hydrant is.
mhm.
Right.
And it should ideally go straight across Taylor Street. So Taylor Street would need a new sidewalk or something done. And
Ah.
it needs a handicap cutout because it doesn't have a handicap cutout. I watched Joey Polizia go from the parking lot of Our Ladies, right?
Mhm.
All the way, I mean, he was in the street for I don't know how long to get to the other side of Taylor Street because there's no cutout or no handicap accessible ramp
Yeah.
closer to that opposite side of Taylor Street.
I
Mhm.
see. I see.
So, it just needs to be reconfigured. I mean, that Taylor Street could absolutely needs a new sidewalk too, but
Mhm.
Mm.
yeah, maybe they'll do that when they fix that crosswalk.
Yeah.
But it's getting the attention now.
Mm.
It's definitely getting the attention. I have Bob Alves from the fraternity club and the DES, and he called a meeting up at Green Street Playground, and you know we had a bunch of people there. So and I got all their email addresses. If you send me an email, I grab your email address and I put you on my list. And if you don't want me to email you, just say, hey, take me off the list. But mostly everyone who reaches out to me is happy to hear from me so far. So right?
Yeah.
They're like, thank you for keeping me informed because I didn't know this was going on. I'm like, okay.
Well, we know you have an appointment to get to, and
Yeah.
we have a
Well-
lot more to get to with you. So why don't we
Yeah.
try to catch up sometime down the road, Tracy? No pressure. But we'll say as you navigate through your first summer as a city
Oh my
council
God.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But we appreciate your
better-
work. We appreciate your time as well.
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate you asking me for an interview and for going easy on me. I think I talked too much though.
We're
Yeah.
going to ask again. We're coming
All
back.
right,
Okay.
all right. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Tracy.
Heather.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kory. Bye.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.